Well, I think the first thing to say is that the PR industry has grown very impressively in India and has some fine achievements to its record now. There are some good businesses, there are some excellent campaigns, there is good creativity, and there's good strategy. So let's first of all state that clearly before we come on to the challenges. A lot has already been achieved. But in terms of moving forward, I think there are three key challenges. The first relates to how we actually get training, investment in training. We simply don't have enough talent. We don't have enough people. We don't have the breadth and depth of people. So that's the thing I think the industry as a whole has to actually, they usually compete, but has to get together on that. How are we going to fix that one? Because unless we fix the talent problem, we're not going to be able to grow to the full potential that the industry has. Secondly, I think there are still too much undervaluing of PR in India. That has a financial impact on the industry, of course. It means that clients can't get the outcomes they want. It means that agencies can't grow as they want. This is not the fault of clients so much. Clients pay what they think PR is worth. It is about, I think, demonstrating real value. And that means not just providing a commoditized service, but actually thinking of new and innovative ways to take clients forward. And I think a third really key priority for the business is how we engage with the vastly changing web environment that's happening through social media. This is a huge opportunity for PR companies. PR companies, above all other marketing companies, have the ability to drive engagement. So far, that's started in India, but it has a very long way to go. I think there are a number of key areas that are still underdeveloped here. Clearly, brand PR has come a long way with some very fine clients, some of whom are with clients of my own company, and brand PR is very sophisticated in this country. Less sophisticated, perhaps, are other key areas like healthcare, which I think is a huge potential healthcare market in India, which is yet to take off. Technology PR remains patchy, good in parts, less good in other parts. Some of the key developments driving other parts of the world, like clean tech, environmental PR, the growth of corporate and social responsibility, these are all potential growth areas. But again, I prefer not so much focus on the weaknesses. I think we should be pleased at what's been achieved in India so far. This is a market with enormous potential. And if we talk about challenges, it's only really because we see the potential as so huge and that our progress towards it still has a long way to go. But there has been progress.
Fundamental challenges that the PR industry of today currently faces. The first being, and I had the honor of being on a panel discussion on the same subject, is measuring the impact of PR on business tangibly and uniquely. I think this has been an ongoing struggle and challenge. In P&G, I think it's been a journey, and we're trying to get to a level where we can uniquely isolate the impact that PR creates on consumers, on our business, be it via measuring the equity of our brands that it enhances, or more trial or purchase intent that it generates. But largely I find the industry still struggling beyond PR worth as a measure. I think advertising equivalent is really passé. We need to start measuring the quality of our PR exposures, how the PR exposures has led to more recommendations, how many more recommendations, how many of these recommendations have led to actual purchase of the brand or the service. It needs to get down to a tangible, actionable level, and that is, I think, the #1 challenge. Until we get there, PR will not be seen at par with, say, advertising copy or direct to consumer. The downside to that being investments in PR will continue to stay flat. If we want them to grow at par with other touch points in marketing or even beyond that, we need to start measuring PR tangibly on business impact. The second challenge that I see is it really has to do with us living in a flat world and a real-time world. What I mean is global organizations like P&G are impacted by news that not only occurs in our own countries or our own markets, but even what happens in the globe. I don't need to wait to switch on my radio when I'm driving to work or really open the newspaper to get bad news on one of my brands. It could just be a tweet in the middle of the night from the US that just proliferates and it's everywhere. So how do we anticipate issues and crisis versus get into damage control mode. That is the other challenge that the PR industry is facing in today's flat and highly conversational real-time world.
I think one of the most important thing that the industry needs to look for is talent, and how to groom talent and retain them so that they are able to service the various clients and the brands that they are representing. I think that is, as one of my co-panelists would have said, that there is a certain amount of gap in the mid-level. You get juniors, you get seniors, but the mid-level is very important. So nurturing them, teaching them the new skill sets, teaching them how to write, teaching them how to say a story better, I think those are very important things.
Public relations in India is evolving. There is no doubt about that. 20 years ago, it was this PRO world, and today we are talking about partnerships and business partnerships and a communication partner with the company. I think PR agencies today, I can only name 10 or 12 who understand the business of PR. But unfortunately, this country of entrepreneurs, because India is an entrepreneurial country, there are millions of such small outfits that is mushrooming. I think the industry must get everybody together and align the need of credibility. Because today, if I have somebody in Delhi or somebody up north who's running a two-man agency out of his bedroom, he's going to call up the resident editor 5 times a day for a story. Therefore, you have a disconnect with the media, you have a disconnect with the client because only media relations. PR agencies must look beyond media relationships. They must look beyond and saying, I need to be a communication partner to the company that I work for. The markets in India is getting matured, and I've seen this evolving in the last 20 years, that Indian industry, the levels of CEOs and the marketeers today are getting extremely globalized. The exposure to the Western world, the exposure to different consumers around the world is at a very, very different level now. So they understand the levels, the credibility that PR agency can actually to bring in. And I think the future is absolutely bright. But we must ensure that we build our own credibility first before we kind of jump onto the bandwagon and just do business for the sake of getting our top lines. It's important to build our own credibility, but it's a great future.